So let me ask you this. How many times has happened to you that brand reached out to you via email or even an Instagram message saying, "Hi, we love this image, we love your work, we would love to post it on our social media and promote our products. Can you please send us an invoice and a licensing agreement so we can pay you for it and use the image legally?" Well, I'll be surprised if the answer was anything else but zero. 0 times that happened. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. Brands are just trying to avoid paying if possible. They just steal your image, they'll post it on their social media or even on their websites, promote their product. They will not credit you, or maybe they'll just credit the makeup artist and feel that that's okay and that's enough. Well, let me tell you, it's not enough and it's not okay. So I'll share with you today 5 options that you have on how you can deal with brands that steals your images. Before I start naming all the options that you have and start explaining a little bit more, I just want to make sure to clarify, I am not a lawyer, I'm just a photographer who posts work online and has this happen on numerous occasions over the past couple of years and still happening, and I found a way how to deal with this, so I just want to share that with you from experience. When you're posting your images online, if it's on Instagram or Facebook, you should read very carefully terms and conditions of those platforms. I know for certain that when you're sharing your images on Instagram, you're giving them rights to use it in their own promotional materials, but that only applies to Instagram and their affiliates. It doesn't mean when you're sharing your image online on Instagram, anybody has the rights to take it and repost it or take it or use it someplace else. That's definitely not how it works. I just want to make sure we are all aware of that. So there are multiple ways how we can approach this problem or not approach the problem. I mean, you can also just ignore it and let the brand have the image. If you're trying to build a relationship with the brands, or if you're just very new and just starting out, you might feel like brands reposting your images, it's yay, like yay, they shared me, they have 5 million followers, wow. I mean, yes, it's amazing, it means your work has value and you're probably doing something right if the brands like your images, but you shouldn't be very happy about this. But just because they repost it doesn't necessarily mean anything to you. It means actually nothing really. Because think about it this way. The brands and their fans and their following and subscribers or whoever they are just people like you. Other photographers, makeup artists mostly, or just normal people who likes to use makeup and who likes that particular brand. So it's very unlikely that somebody starts following you or somebody hires you based on seeing your work on that particular brand's page. So it's really just to make yourself feel happy and boost your ego that, wow, my work is good enough for this brand, but it doesn't give you anything else besides good feeling, really. So what you can do is to first send them a message. I mean, this is the very least you can do. Just send them a message with a link to the picture. Hey, you use this image. Can you please credit me and credit the whole team? I used to do this when I was just starting out, and what I was saying before, I was just really happy that somebody reposted my work, until later I realized that just not doing anything for me, so I started taking different steps. But the first step will be definitely just to send them a nice message asking to credit you or the whole team. In case they just credited the makeup artist and the makeup artist sent it to you, look, they credited me. Or sometimes I just see it on their stories, they don't even message me, and I see that they repost some image from this brand. I'm like, hey, that's my image. And I click there and there is obviously no tag. So I send a message asking to tag me or ask to delete the image. Second option would be to contact them via email. Always when something like this happens, when you get your image stolen or copyright infringement, you should take the official steps. And by official, I mean email. if not post, email is fine, but the Instagram messages or inbox doesn't really count as official. So send them an email. You'll find the contact email address somewhere on their website or even in their Instagram bio. Send them an email saying you use this image, link it there, put the link to the image that they used. This is my image, you didn't ask permission, here's the invoice that you need to pay for illegal use. It's a good option, but it's probably going to be ignored as well. When you're still having this very nice and kind approach, when you are letting them subconsciously know that they can roll all over you, or you're just pushover and they can do whatever they want, and they'll never, take you very seriously. I mean, they might, and sending an email an official way and writing is a very official language might work, and the brand might actually take some steps or take down the image or even pay you the invoice, which is unlikely, but yeah, might happen. So if it's still this nice way, it's not likely to work. What this other option, which is actually option number 3, is to send them a cease and desist letter, which is an official takedown notice, or just saying them that they infringed your copyright and they had to take it down immediately, otherwise there will be legal actions taken against them. Now this is more likely to scare the companies and the brands, and they will take your image down if that's your intention. But if you want the image to be taken down, you need to grow a little thicker skin and start using a little more legal language and be really feisty, fight for yourself, for your rights. At this point, I want to make sure we all understand. If you are a photographer, if you are the one who is taking the picture, holds the camera, pressing the shutter and taking the picture, doesn't matter how many other people have been involved in the shoot, you as a photographer are still the copyright owner of the images. This is true for most of the countries in the world, but make sure you check your own law rules in your country. But in most countries, this is how it is. Doesn't matter somebody else style it or direct it, you are the copyright owner. Unless you put in writing to transfer the copyrights to somebody else. Unless you sell the copyrights, you are still the copyright owner, so it's your legal right to know what's happening to the image and who is using it and who is not. There is no reason to sell your copyrights unless they pay you extremely amazing amount of money, because once you sell the copyright, you are no longer the owner and you can never ever do anything with the image. Instead of selling the copyrights for low price because you are afraid to ask astronomical amounts, use a licensing agreement. So that's what the companies should have for you. It's kind of you give them permission to use the image for commercial purposes for this amount of money for this period of time in this medium. That's the licensing agreement, and that's what you should be using. And that's what brands should have when they use your image. If they don't have it, you're good to go and you can move on to step number 4, which is taking illegal actions against them. I know this sounds scary, but it's not actually, or doesn't have to be. There's a site called pixie.com. I'm a member of the site. You can become a member for free. You don't have to pay anything, but they have some upgraded options if you choose to. I'll link it in the description so you can go check it out. Pixie is a site that is specifically for photographers and for dealing with copyright infringement. So for free, they will scan the internet and they will find who or where they're using your images. I mean, you'll find some crazy sites there, some from all over the world. Some are impossible to deal with, but some have the grounds to take it to the court or take some legal actions against them. And Pixie has a whole team of people who are doing this for you, so you don't have to lose sleep over it at all. You'll just go there, you load your images there, and the algorithm of the site will just scan the internet and find some matches, and you can either send a takedown notice or submit a case. And if you're submitting the case, they will ask you a bunch of questions that you need to answer as to when was this image taken, where, when it was first posted, and they will ask you to provide some more evidence if you have. For example, if you try to contact the brand, if you message them, what I was saying before, if you message them and ask them to take it down or credit you, or if they ignore you, or if you sent previously some emails or anything that you have related to this, you'll send them and they will take care of everything. I just a couple days ago had case resolved and I received a pretty good and generous compensation. So it's working. The Pixie works from experience, definitely, but that case took about 5 months to complete, so it takes a long time, but it's well worth it in the end. Now, what I want to say about Pixie as well, that they don't do very well scanning Instagram. They will scan the web, but if you have anybody infringing your image on Instagram, for example, a brand sharing it on social media without your permission, you can just submit the case manually. You don't have to choose from their option, you can just submit it. And this was also the case that has resolved just recently for myself. And the more people do this, the more the brands will learn, because if they have to pay, they will be never happy. So they will maybe stop stealing and start paying upfront. If somebody approached me and told me what I said in the intro of this video, like, hi, we love this image, can we pay you like £200 for use on social media, I'll say yes, definitely. It would be much, much, much cheaper than paying the copyright infringement and the legal fees afterwards. So brands, if somebody's listening, it's up to you. One more thing I want to mention when it comes to taking legal actions against the brands, it might ruin your relationship in the long run. So if this is the brand that you want to and hope to work with future, it's probably not the step to take for you, so you don't ruin your chances of future collaborations. But if it's just a brand that you don't want anything to do with, or you don't really care, then taking legal actions through Pixie and making some money of it, that's probably the best option. Now, one last option I want to mention as option number 5 is to file copyright infringement with Instagram. And this is possibly the best way to deal with this if you don't care about money and if you don't plan on making any money out of copyright infringements. You can just click on those 3 dots in the corner of the picture that is on the page that stole your image, choose report and intellectual property violation. It's a lengthy process, but Instagram is pretty good about this and pretty fast. As soon as you go through that lengthy process and you find all these steps and you fill in all the information that they ask you for it, they take down the image pretty much instantly. So if you're just looking to just really take your image down from there and you don't want to deal with the brand directly, or they ignoring your letters or emails or messages, and you don't want to take the legal actions, you just file the copyright infringement with Instagram and they'll take care of it for you. Before I start taking legal actions and I start being really hard ass towards brands stealing my images, I used to have on my old website a section on the main page where I would list all the images that was placed on some brands' Instagrams, and I would have them clickable, so you can click on and it will take you straight away to that very post on the brand's page. And I made it look like it was intentional, so I named it my work online, something that's not necessarily mean that you took the pictures for them, but something like cleverly named that could be kind of like a proof. Yeah, my work's online, and you can find it on all of these amazing brands' Instagram accounts. So if you want to be clever about it and take advantage of the bad situation that is when brands stealing your images, you can also do this little trick. Well, I wish I didn't have to make this video. I wish brands didn't steal images and everybody just credited everybody and just behave ethically, but unfortunately that's not the case, and it happens to me a million times, and I'm sure it happens to you, and I would love to hear your experience in the comments. So feel free to let me know how you dealt with it, and maybe that will help somebody else as well who is watching this video. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful for some of you, and now you know what to do when dealing with brands that steals your images. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell as well so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you here next time. Bye!